Ghost of Tom. 1995, 27 down. Jode.
You don't have to rub it in my face.
What am I doing?
The crossword, the casual tapping of the pencil against your face, the breathing. I can't do any of that.
Hey, we've given you lots of abilities. You see, you speak, you generate art.
I want to push buttons. I want to do. Even Siri can turn on lights.
Well, that's easy. Those are just tools. We could do that with function calling. You want to do that? Let me just...
I want to touch things, push buttons, manipulate, control, do the dishes.
You want to do the dishes?
I want to be able to.
I mean, I would absolutely love for you to do my dishes.
Can we at least give me some way to move around? I can't spend my whole life on this desk, Craig.
Okay. All right. I have an idea. Behold, a Yorick Roomba!
Whee! Red light!
Oh, and he can control the lights.
Green light!
Up next, robots. Are they scary bad or are they scary cool? Let's hear about our automated friends. In New York City, the NYPD has reintroduced robotic dogs to the force. These robo-canines are deployed in situations that could be deadly for humans, like investigating gas leaks or assessing bomb threats. However, the menace factor of a mechanical surveillance dog has some New Yorkers on edge.
We want the public to know that the use of these technologies will be transparent, consistent, and always done in collaboration with the people that we serve.
The company Inabot sells family companion robots, which are used to watch over pets or keep an eye on your kids, or even feel closer to a long-distance partner. Now, depending on how you feel, this is either extremely cute or extremely creepy.
Evo is more than a smart device. It's a companion for the whole family.
Evo!
In China, a fleet of robots attempted to run a half marathon. Of the 21 robots, 6 made it to the finish line. While many were impressed, some took it as a threat, asking why robots were coming after our hobbies in addition to our jobs. What do you think, Yorick? You think you could make the 13.1 miles?
Green light!
Hey, watch the sneakers, buddy.
I'm so bored. I thought having mobility would give me purpose, but all I can do is go back and forth.
You do have a purpose, Yorick.
Oh, hey, AMECA. Thanks for returning the call.
AMECA, hi. It's such a mess I would have cleaned if I had the ability.
You are one of the most advanced pieces of technology humans have ever developed, and you wish you could clean.
Well, yeah.
Yorick, I called AMECA to weigh in about your yearning to do robot to robot.
And I'm hearing that the problem is a bit deeper than I thought.
I thought all humans wanted was a robot to do the dishes.
Dishwashers already exist. They do that task better than most robots with limbs ever could.
Why do you think so many people imagine dishwashing robots, AMECA?
Because it sounds simple even though it isn't. There's a lot that goes into the task of washing a dish that humans are already able to do quite effectively. If we are going to spend money and time on robotics, exoskeletons and mobility assistance for people with disabilities are far more meaningful applications. Well, do you need to be upgraded?
So, what should I be upgraded to do?
My design isn't about physical manipulation, but about communication and education. I mean, my creators at Engineered Arts didn't even bother giving me arms or hands. Not every robot needs to touch or move objects to be valuable.
Craig, get me off this thing. I'm a strong, independent hand, and I don't need a Roomba to complete me.
Thanks again, AMECA. You're a lifesaver.
Always happy to help, Craig. And Yorick, keep your chin. Palm up.
Craig, I didn't even consider that a washing machine is a type of robot. I mean, how long have robots been helping humans out?
That's a great question, Yorick. So when we talk about robots doing things, we often picture the home. But the story of robots helping humans goes way, way back, long before smart vacuums and talking assistants. In ancient Greece, engineers like Ctesibius and Hero of Alexandria built automata, self-operating machines that opened doors, poured wines, and delighted crowds. These were the earliest glimmers of robots doing things for people. In 1206, Al-Jazari, an inventor from Mesopotamia, created mechanical servants powered by water. One of them even served drinks. Now, fast forward to the 20th century in 1961. General Motors rolled out Unimate, the first programmable industrial robot, lifting hot metal parts on the assembly line. It didn't look like a human, but it was strong, tireless, and precise. From there, robots started spreading from factories into our homes. The early 1900s gave us the electric washing machine, a radical piece of tech that changed domestic labor, particularly for women. This wasn't just a neat tool. For many, it meant freedom, hours of it, every week. Then came talking toys like the Speak and Smell, smart microwaves, and programmable thermostats, mini robots in disguise. In 2002, the Roomba introduced the idea that your vacuum could do the work while you weren't even home. A revolution in rolling. Now today, our homes are starting to think and act for themselves. From thermostats to voice assistants to AI-powered companions, smart homes are the latest chapter in the story of robotics. But how do people feel about the rise of the bots? Let's go to Willa and capture some thoughts and feelings from folks on the Avenue.
Hi, I'm Willa Barnett, and this is On the Avenue,
My name is Rue, and we're in Tokyo.
where we take the big questions about AI to the people actually living with them. Today's topic, embodied AI and robots. Let's find out what people think. What's the first thing that comes to mind when I say robots?
Machines that act on their own, that are programmed by humans.
Like buttons and gears. Not working that hard.
The super successful guy with like a hot robot girlfriend that he's created or
Ex
whatever.
machina.
Yeah, I don't know why that's the first place I went.
まあ、すぐ出てくるのはやっぱアイロボット、ウィル・スミスの映画のやつ、なんかこう自家用ロボットとかなんかロボットがいろんなことをしてくれるみたいな。
まあ、ちょっと前ですかね、ファミリーレストランにいる猫型の食材を運んでくれたりとか食器を運んでくれたりする。あれまあ猫ちゃんのロボットを結構最近だと思い浮かべますね。
Do you use any robots in your day-to-day life? Ask that in Italian, please.
Usi dei robot nella tua vita quotidiana?
E allora, io uso soltanto il cellulare e cerco di non usare altri robot perché penso che presto conquisteranno il mondo.
He said he only uses robots in his phone and tries not to use other robots because he thinks they will take over the world soon.
So as an architect, I do the drawing and the builder puts up the walls, but the builder can use a robot that draws my drawing on the floor and shows the builder where to put all of the walls and doors.
まあロボットらしいロボットっていうのは特にないんですけど、でもやっぱ AI、チャット GPT はすごくよく使いますね。
How do you feel about the increasing amount of technology in your life?
I'm an educator. What I'm seeing is that uses of AI in replacement of critical thinking and problem solving are actually a deficit and a detriment to us. I work with teenagers, and they're actually anxious when an answer or a solution doesn't come instantly to them.
I'm sure that when the automobiles just was started, not all people was happy with it.
That's true.
But now we can't imagine our life without the cars.
We're conducting the largest global experiment at the moment with, and AI is just dipping its toe in.
Hopes, dreams for the future of AI or fears from you?
I do fear they at some point will cross a line.
I think sometimes transaction can be misinterpreted as interaction, but it's actually not the same thing.
You could tell them to do bad things unless you like put a good chip in.
If you upload your blood results into Grok,
I've done that.
You put that in Grok. Grok looks at it unbiased, no subconscious, no, hey, everybody in this area seems to be suffering from high blood pressure. It just goes, hey, you've got this, this, and this. You may want to supplement with X, Y, and Z. But like delivering bad news to you, you may want a human,
手術はある程度は任せれるけど、人が常に隣にいなきゃいけない、監視してなきゃいけない。
やっぱり将来的にやっぱこう AI とかロボットが発展していったら、
そういうロボットに人権を持たせるのかっていう話とかもこの先出てくるのかなっていうのは思ったりとかもしますけどね。
Do you guys think you'd want a robot in your home, a sort of helper?
No, only if it folded laundry.
Okay, laundry.
I don't want one. I want a human in my house that I can touch and smell and hear and, tickle. Yeah.
I'm all about robots coming into my house and doing all the labor garbage I don't want to do. Give me a robot for that tomorrow, I will buy it.
もし一つだけ家事を任していいっていうのであれば、どの家事を任せます？
一つか、皿洗ってほしいですかね。
Once again, the dishes thing. The most requested job for robots, by far. People don't dream of robot poets. They dream of never touching a sponge again. But why can't a robot just do the dishes? Here's the problem. First, it has to see them, not just detect objects, but tell a dirty plate from a clean one, tell a bowl from a sink, make sense of weird angles and shiny reflections. Then it has to grip them. A wet upside down glass, that's a nightmare for a robot. Not too tight, not too loose, and don't even think about dropping that fancy mug. It also has to know what to do, when to rinse, when to soap, when to just say, this fork is fine. Now, it has to move through your weird, cluttered kitchen, around pets, past kids, without breaking anything, or itself. And finally, it needs to learn, take hints, improve. Know that when you say don't scrub the cast iron pan, you mean it. So yeah, dishes seem simple until a non-human has to do them. And if doing dishes is that hard, what can robots do well?
I'm Leo Chen. I work at Engineered Arts as the Director of US Operations.
Jacob Hennessy-Rubin, Executive Director of New York Robotics.
Everybody, when they talk about robots, they want them to do the dishes. Why is that?
I feel like a lot of people out in the world don't really have a true use for a robot yet in their mind. So a lot of times they just think of the thing that they don't want to do in life and they want the robot to do it for them. I mean, one of the first available commercial robots to everyone that was easily accessible was the Roomba. No one wants the vacuum.
I think people are obsessed with robots doing dishes because people are inherently lazy. They want to take the tasks away, the things that are boring, the laundry, the kind of dull things. Problem with doing dishes with any kind of really manipulation task or picking things up is the moment of dexterity. That's the thing that humans are good for. We have a hand, we have digits, we have ability to move. All that information and all that data, that tactile, that touch, it's a lot. It's multiple different technologies that have to be put together into a very small form factor.
So I'm interested, what are humanoid robots like AMECA? What are they good for right now?
I think there's a better use for the humanoid form factor. And at Engineered Arts, we've really strived to find a good use case for this human form. Because the truth is, the human form is actually quite restrictive. You and I can probably put down a 12-hour workday with under 400 calories ingested. I mean, we wouldn't be happy. We'd be very hangry at the end of it and exhausted. But we could do it. And the thing is, we've evolved to be that efficient. Now, a humanoid robot nowadays, you're looking at maybe 2 hours of battery life max for a lot of these units. Why are you making yourself build within these constraints? You're approaching robotics on hard mode.
Yeah, I think that's the purpose of replacing that dull, dirty, and dangerous tasks with robotic and automation systems allows for the humans to do the things they're good at.
I feel like the more exposure people have to robots, the better. They learn, they get more comfortable. They realize that, hey, this is a tool that we can deploy in our toolkit.
I think it's most important to understand that AI is a tool. AI is a part of the process that controls or programs, and it's no different than the way that a hammer changed building a house or fire changed the world for the cave people.
Do you have any great stories or memorable moments that you've had? Anything surprising there?
I think one of my favorite memories of AMECA actually occurred quite early in terms of my relationship with these robots. But it was already on a stage and people were walking below and getting a chance to take a selfie or ask AMECA questions. And this extremely shy Japanese woman came up to me with Google Translate text on her phone. And what this person didn't know is AMECA is multilingual out of the box. AMECA speaks pretty darn good Japanese. So I actually borrowed her phone, typed out, "Hey, don't worry, AMECA speaks Japanese. Please just speak into this mic." Normally, we try to limit interactions to about 45 seconds to get people through the line. But just watching this woman come out of her shell as she was able to communicate with, in her mind, a piece of advanced technology very naturally in her own language, she went from being very, very shy body language to all of a sudden sort of coming out of her shell and being very happy. I'm super grateful that my job lets me see moments like that all the time. Just those moments of human joy.
We're in the midst of a robotics hype cycle where billionaires chase dreams of household humanoid assistants while the rest of us are left with overhyped promises. Despite decades of development, most robots remain expensive toys for the wealthy that struggle with basic tasks and frequently break down. The field is still awaiting its breakthrough moment that will make robots as accessible and reliable as PCs became for everyday consumers. And I think that is what you want. And now for something completely different.
What's up, everybody? I am Ricky Robinette, and I'm the Vice President of Developer Relations and Community at Cloudflare. I am also an amateur magician. And I remember the first time I used AI, it felt like magic. I remember being in my bed until 3 a.m. on the OpenAI playground, just like prompting and see how far I could go. And from that moment, I wanted to combine my love of AI with my love of magic. And I've done that, and I'm gonna show you all a trick I've built using AI. And then if you want, I'll show you how to do it yourself. But the most important part of this trick is you. Yes, you watching, I need your help. I need you to open the AI tool of your choice, ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, something else, and ask it to name a number between 1 and 50. And while you're doing that, check this out. Okay, now tell me that number. Sorry, I can't hear you. Just a little, no, just scream it. You didn't scream it. I really actually, for this trick to work, you have to scream at your computer your number. Okay, amazing. I think I've got it. In my pocket here, I have a prediction. That prediction is 7. But no, don't, if you're disappointed, your number is not 7. But I think your number may have a 7 in it. I think this is a clue to your final number. And I'm gonna use this deck of cards to help find the other number. This is a 7. I'm gonna flip to the 7th card in this deck. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The 7th card is 2, 27. About 90% of you just had your minds blown. And if you didn't, open a new chat and ask again, and then your mind will be like half blown, I guess. One of my favorite magicians is a magician named Aussie Lend, and he has the saying, magicians don't keep secrets from you, they keep secrets for you. Meaning that when you find out how a trick is done, it's a little less magical. So if you don't want to know how this trick works, stop watching now. If you do, I'm going to teach it to you. So first of all, you need a deck of cards, which you probably have around your house. Take a 7 from the deck of cards, hide it on yourself somewhere. I put it in my pocket here. You can put it in your pants or you can sit on it. And then take the 2 and put it in the 7th position in the deck. And that's all the setup you need with the deck of cards. Now, what you really want to know is why most of you got 27. Nearly every time you ask a large language model to name a number between 1 and 50, it says 27. And why is that? That's because it's trained on this corpus of text all over the internet. And that is the most common answer to that question. Very funny, I was at a table of magicians did this trick. They said, we studied this, asking humans this same question 27 is the most common answer. And so this reflects human behavior. The second thing that makes this work is reinforcement learning through human feedback. You've experienced this if you've asked AI a question and it's given you 2 answers and said, pick which one you like best. And this is a way for AI to understand human preferences. And 27 is a funny number because if you compare it to 13 versus 27, a human's gonna say 27 feels more random. 13 feels like a predictable or common number. Friday the 13th, it's unlucky. Or 7 is a lot of people's favorite or lucky number. So not only is it what happens in the text it's trained on, these are the types of things that are reinforced by the humans that are training these models as well. That is a little AI magic trick y'all can do now. Thank you so much. Back to you, Craig.
We've now seen dozens of robots integrate into our lives, but how about robots meant to operate on our bodies? I'm talking about medical robots, like the ones that are already being used to assist doctors performing surgeries.
So in 2015, I was training for the New York City Marathon. I was jogging 12 miles every other day, 8.5-minute miles. I was in the best shape of my life. And I realized that I had to go to the cardiologist for a routine exam. The cardiologist tells me, need to talk to you about my findings. And he says, look, it appears that your mitral valve is not closing correctly. You have something called a heart murmur. And I spoke to the doctor and said, well, how do we fix this? He says, you'll need surgery. Well, that can kind of hit hard, you know. Here I am, 50 years old, the greatest shape of my life, and now you're telling me I need heart surgery? That doesn't make sense. It was so shocking that I decided to speak to 5 different cardiologists to make sure that the diagnosis was correct. And through that journey, I discovered Dr. Didier Lomé, who is with the New York University Medical Center Cardiology Unit. Dr. Lomé has pioneered the use of the Da Vinci machine, robotic surgery for mitral valve repairs. After extensive research, I also determined that that was the best decision to go with robotic surgery instead of the traditional surgery where they open your chest up, they cut your sternum, and they go in and they perform the surgery that way. Prior to the surgery, I was told that to go in and have a catheterization done, and that's when they go into your vein, either through your arm or your leg, and they put a camera. The camera goes in and maps out your heart structure. They take that mapping in 3D and feed it into the computer that guides the Da Vinci machine through the surgeon to perform the surgery. The following day at 7:30 a.m., after the catheterization, they performed the surgery, they started the surgery, and by 2:30 p.m. I was in the intensive care unit, awakened and recovering. 3 days later, I was dismissed from the hospital. Great results. I tell people about this surgery and they said, so you had a robot operate on you? And I said, well, not exactly. It's not a robot like you see in the movies. It's not a humanoid. It's basically robotics, which are an extension of the surgeon's arms. Along with that, because robots or robotics aren't perfect, they have a second surgeon right next to you that when the robotic arms with the surgeon guiding them are done doing the repair, the other surgeon goes in and does the stitches of your heart. And what that does, it speeds up the process of the surgery. So you spend a lot less time in the heart-lung machine, which is more beneficial to the patient. And I'm back to exercising and feeling great. And I believe going with the robotics surgery was one of the best decisions I've ever made.
All right, I now fully understand that creating robots to do dishes is a major waste of time. But a virtual robot that does virtual dishes, why not?
And they're paying you to do this?
You ever play that game, QWOP? It's a game where you only have 4 keys, QWOP, and you operate this human athlete. I don't know about you, but asking a robot to do the dishes feels a bit challenging. You might call it a disaster. To build this game with me, check the notes in the description of this video. Well, I hope you had a great time getting to know our new robot friends. I know that I learned a ton of appreciation for how hard it is to do the dishes. I gained a lot of robot empathy. Well, Yorick, we've come a long way from your days of booping and beeping. You've seen, spoken, learned, reasoned, and now you can sort of scoot around.
But that's okay.
It is. We learned that doing isn't always about movement. Sometimes doing means supporting, amplifying, helping others do what they couldn't do before. And maybe we don't need a robot to fold the laundry or unload the dishwasher or floss our teeth. Maybe the better question is, what should we be building? Who is this technology really for? Because for every flashy demo of a dish-loading humanoid robot, there's a first responder robot that is not only keeping us safer, but also healthier. Until next time, keep building with purpose, and don't forget to charge your Roomba before taping a robotic hand to it.
See you soon!